Good morning. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act, 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. Thank you. Yeah. One moment. I checked that it was on. Just forget. My name is Mary Ann Casson, and I will be chairing today's session. Our panel members today are Mr. Nipfeld, Mr. Bartolo, Mr. Fazeli, and Mr. Swartz. And our Deputy Secretary Treasurer today is Simon Lamb. We acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Committee of Adjustment public hearings are conducted in a hybrid in-person and virtual format. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, and others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx. The meetings are also streamed on the Toronto City Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. For those participating virtually, when your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on an application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed the rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only the applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons and bodies are permitted to appeal the decisions of the committee. Today, I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda. Where an application is contested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation. When an application is uncontested, the committee may not require a presentation. The committee may ask questions and/or take the matter into committee for a decision. Any presentation or other materials you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept new materials at the hearing. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee. Then individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through WebEx. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are reaching the 5-minute mark. When all speakers are finished, the applicant agent has an opportunity to rebut those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. All right, first of all, we will start with any conflicts of the panel or for the morning session. Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Item number 4, I worked with the agent in the past 12 months on a separate file.
All right, did we get that, staff? We're good. Item 4. All right. That's it for this morning. Thank you. Mr. Secretary Treasurer, any minutes to approve?
Madam Chair, we have one set of minutes to approve this morning from the January 22nd hearing. Present was yourself, Ms. Klein, Mr. Bartolo, and Ms. Sankar.
All right. Could we have a motion to approve? Anyone? Oh, Mr. Bartolo.
Madam Chair, I'll put forward a motion to approve those minutes.
Thank you. And a seconder? Mr. Fazeli. Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. All right. And then we have deferral requests, Mr. Secretary Treasurer.
Through you, Madam Chair, we have 3 deferrals this morning in the 10 a.m. time slot. Item number 2, item number 9, item number 10. Why don't we start with item number 2? 2793, 2799 Bathurst Street.
All right. Is our applicant here or online? Looks like they're online.
You're online.
Thank you. And could you please start with your name and address?
Sure. It's Benjamin Larson. I'm a partner at Elevate Planning and Project Management, address 15 Gervais Drive, Toronto.
Thank you. And the reason for the deferral?
So we've been engaged in this process for approximately 1.5 years. We've worked closely with planning, urban design staff, local ward councilor's office to bring these project refinements to the committee. The owner has taken a proactive, transparent approach throughout. The city variance notice was posted on the site for the timelines. The city notice was mailed out. The variances are based on a formal zoning review. Beyond the requirements, we've voluntarily mailed out to immediate neighbors, asking for information if they could reach out to us. We held a virtual open house on February 12th. One attendee participated that open house. It was a representative from the synagogue, which was behind the site. At the open house, we gave a presentation about the project refinements, but the representative from the synagogue raised no questions. We made ourselves available for follow-up discussions. The owners had a long-standing relationship with the synagogue, including involvement during the original site approvals on the site, which was a settlement process. But the city file you have before you has a supportive community planning memo confirming that the variances meet the 4 tests. It also highlights the Section 45 contribution amount, which the owner is in agreement with. There's also a memo on the file from City Transportation recommending approval of the variances, as they are quite technical. In addition to the synagogue communication on the committee's file, we understand the councilor's office has requested a deferral as well, but in the spirit of maintaining good neighbor relationships with the synagogue, the owner is prepared to support a limited deferral of the variance application. But it's our hope that we can implement these minor variances in a fairly timely manner, as a lot of merit is reflected in the proposed variances and the Section 45. There's support from city staff, and we have been at this for a long time. So I'll leave it to you, to the committee.
All right, that was a long response to a simple question, but do we have someone in person on this item, I believe? Do we? No? They're both online?
Oh, I'm happy to agree to a deferral, so that's fine.
And sorry, could we have your name and address,
Oh,
please?
sorry. My name is Abigail Romberg. It's Romberg. I live at 481 Glencairn, across the street from the proposed development. And I would be agreeable with a deferral for now.
Thank you. All right, and our other person? Were they related? I'm not sure. Mr. Smiley?
Hello.
Can't hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Keep going. Barely.
All right. I'm going to try on the phone line.
Oh, you're good now. You're good.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. It's Neil Smiley, Smiley, of Baskin Law Firm. I'm here on behalf of the Sher Shemayan Synagogue from 470 Glencairn Avenue. It's the property immediately to the east and adjoining. I'll work backwards. We are also interested in a deferral. We're interested for a deferral for at least 4 weeks, which would bring us to the March 26th meeting date. But I do wish to take a bit of issue and tell the committee that as much as my friend has been working at this for a year and a half, we've been involved or had notice of this for about 10, 15 days. Before the committee are 23 variances. They are varying a bylaw that its beginning came from the tribunal, formerly the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal. And with all respect, this isn't just a technical matter as far as the synagogue is concerned, and we are requesting the opportunity to review these variances. The applicant has agreed to meet with us separately, which we are looking forward to, and the adjournment is definitely requested. It's appropriate and it's not prejudicial to the applicant, and we would request it to the March 26th date at the earliest. Many thanks.
All right. There is no guarantee of the actual date when it will come forward, but we hear your comments. And Mr. Smiley, just for the record, your address, please. Hello? Did we lose him?
Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yes? Did you hear?
Yes, my address is 333 Bay Street, Suite 2400, PO Box 20, Toronto.
Thank you very much. All right, no one else in attendance on this item. All right, let's take this into committee. Someone like to make a motion? Mr. Nipfeld.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd like to move that the application be deferred to allow for further consultation with the adjacent neighbor.
All right, thank you. And a seconder, Mr. Swartz. All in favor? That is carried. All right, we have another deferral request.
Through you, Madam Chair, it's item number 9, 287 Snowdon.
All right, thank you. And I believe our applicant is online for this one as well. And we have people here in attendance on this item. All right, thank you. Let's start with the applicant, please.
Through you, Madam Chair, Terry Mills is unmuted.
Oh, okay. Mr. Mills?
Okay, I'm not the applicant. I'm a planner for the Residents Association. I'm
That's
just
what-
here to
okay.
basically audit the deferral hearing.
Thank you. All right, so it's Mr. Bianconi, I think we're looking for.
Good morning, Madam Chair. It's actually Andrew Palumbo on behalf of Marco Bianconi.
Okay, sorry, your name and address?
Yes, sir. I'll go. So good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee and Committee of Adjustment staff. My name is Andrew Palumbo of Ian Hall Planning Limited, and I am the agent for 287 Snowdon Avenue. My address is 38 Betty Nagle Street in Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
I'm here before the committee this morning to kindly request a deferral for this application in order to allow for sufficient time to address the comments provided by city planning staff to date relative to the proposed garden suite as part of this application at the subject site. I do note that planning staff comments are only relative to the garden suite as of today, and they have no comments with respect to the main proposed dwelling on the site. As such, I believe the deferral to the next available C of A hearing date will allow for sufficient time to address these comments accordingly, along with any other comments from the neighbors as they come forward. As I understand, there are people in attendance today. And thank you always for your time, and happy to answer any further questions.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we have a request, and let's hear from our residents in attendance today. The applicant has requested a deferral to a later date. If you want to come forward and just tell us your name and address, and if you have any concerns with the deferral. And just make sure the microphone's on.
Sorry. Okay, my name is Tracy Pappin. I live at 285 Snowdon. I've lived there for over 20 years. I am the direct neighbor of the subject property at 287 Snowdon. I do not object to a deferral at this time, provided that any revised plans are formally circulated to neighbors with adequate notice before the next hearing. There's been significant time and expense neighbors have already invested in preparing for today. I would respectfully ask that the deferral be used to consider the interested parties' concerns and that revised plans result in meaningful revisions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next.
Hi, my name is Rose Ferraro. I'm from 122 Riverview Drive, the corner adjacent to 287 Snowdon. I agree with everything that Tracy has just stated. There's no sense in talking about all the other stuff. We just agree with the deferral as long as we get hopefully adequate notice to prepare for future meetings.
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe we have a number of people online. Just while we're getting the people online, I'll just say that the applicant has requested a deferral. Yes, we can hear you. One moment. Just reminding people that the applicant has requested a deferral, so we just want to know if you have any concerns with the deferral request. But let's start with your name and address, please.
Hi, everybody. It's Scott Stevens. I reside at 46 Golfdale Road. And I have no problem with the deferral, Madam Chair. I would just make the comment that the applicant said that city planning had no comments on the main building. They were only concerned about the garden suite. Well, that is not the case. If you read the planning report, you'll see that they do have concerns with the main building, as do the residents. So I would just ask that in the next go-round, the residents have an opportunity to meet with the applicant and have our concerns addressed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
It's to stand on the owner opposite of the subject property. We're not opposed in principle to a short referral for the purposes of material revised plans. We do have some reservations that the comments from Mr. Palumba only is with reference to the garden suite. There's been a real rallying of community efforts. There's been 20 plus letters. City councilors, neighbors have taken time to attend in person and virtually. And some of the concerns address more than just the garden suites. It's the height, it's the setback. And so we hope, while we support a deferral, that the applicant considers some of these concerns from the community, and the committee factors that in its decision to grant the deferral. Thank you.
Thank you. Could you, just for the record, repeat your name and address? It got cut off at the beginning.
Yeah, my name is Sam. I'm the owner of 105 Riverview Drive, directly opposite of the subject property.
Thank you. All right, next.
Hello, my name's Anastasia Manzieris, and I'm the owner of 126 Riverview Drive, 2 doors south of the proposed applicant's lot. I just want to reiterate, as the previous speakers, Madam Chair, that the overall proposal is of concern, not just the garden suite. There is significant issues with setbacks and heights, overall heights, and I suspect some manipulation with the way they're interpreting their variances. So I do not have any rejections towards this deferral. However, this case is more serious than the applicant's agent is proposing and stated in his initial comments today.
All right, thank you. Next.
Through you, Madam Chair, Robert Little and Frank Nicholson are not online.
Not online?
No.
Okay, thank you. I think we are good to take this into committee.
Madam Chair, I just have a question for the applicant
Okay.
before we go into committee. This is for the applicant. I just wondered, when did you let the neighbors know that you were going to request a deferral? Hello? Applicant, are you there?
Do we have Mr. Palumbo back on?
Yeah, sorry, it took a while for the committee to unmute me.
That's okay.
Through you, Madam Chair. Just admittedly, again, I'm admittedly have just recently been retained as of the last few days for this application. So I'm new to it myself, hearing these comments this morning, and obviously we're gonna get a deferral granted. We'll no doubt take the opportunity to hear all of the concerns as they relate holistically to the entire proposal. It's my understanding that the comments from city planning staff were actually relative to the garden suite, but in conjunction with the main building and the garden suites together. So yeah, like I said, absolutely. But again, that's the whole point of this process, is to now understand that this is the forum for nearby residents and neighbors to raise these types of concerns, and obviously taking a deferral opportunity to address them
Okay.
is.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the deferral. I just have a problem with a little bit with the process, because we have public members who showed up, and I just wish, I can understand, I appreciate you're new on the file, but I just wish that applicants would let residents know they're seeking a deferral, get everything lined up so it goes faster. That's all. But I don't have a problem with the deferral, so I'm
Understood through you, Madam Chair. I understand that sentiment for sure. And as soon as I basically found out about I was made aware of the comments from planning staff, I advised my client that, yeah, the deferral is definitely advisable, and yes, to take that opportunity now understanding that there are broader concerns, to no doubt, obviously not turn a blind eye to those, but to be open and receptive to these comments going forward.
All right. Mr. Secretary Treasurer.
Madam Chair, apologies, I just want to bring back Terry Mills. I wasn't sure if he was part of this file.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm Terry here.
Need to speak up a little bit, Terry.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yes, so anyway, I've been retained by the Teddington Park Residents Association in this matter, and I agree with the deferral, and I think the points made by the residents were very good, and mentioning as well that the concern is not just with the garden suite, but also with the other variances that pertain to the main building.
All right, thank you. Okay, I think we can take this into committee now.
Through you, Madam Chair, given that the neighbors and other applicants, they're okay with the deferral request, I'd like to forward a motion to request for deferral of the application, and I encourage the applicant to go over all the concerns of the neighbors and address the concerns on the staff report.
Thank you very much. And a seconder? Mr. Nipfeld, all in favor of the deferral request? That is carried. All right. Do we have another deferral?
Madam Chair, our last deferral of the morning is item number 10, 477 Coldstream.
All right. Looks like our agent is online. Is there anyone in the audience on this one? 477 Coldstream Avenue? No? All right. Looks like we have two agents.
Hi, Joe Dome, 133 Torres Avenue, agent for the owner.
All right, and just to clarify, Mr. Dome, Mr. Axelrod is also on the file?
That's the applicant.
Okay.
I'm representing the application on behalf.
All right, thank you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us the reason for the deferral request?
Yes, the examiner had made an error on the zoning notice, and we have recently received a corrected notice that no longer considers the proposed dwelling a houseplex, which lowers the maximum building length bylaw for variance number 2 from 19 meters to 17 meters. So if committee finds it necessary, we would be requesting a deferral to the next available hearing.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right. Let's take it into committee. Mr. Nipfeld.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd like to move deferral of the application to allow the applicant to correct an error in the original submission.
All right, thank you. Seconder, Mr. Fazeli. All in favor? That's carried. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled agenda. So item 1, 272 Homewood Avenue. This is a consent to sever 26.44 meter lot into two 13.22 meter lots. 2 variance applications are included for the proposed severed lots. The variances are for rear deck and height projection, exterior stair width, vehicle access to a parking space, driveway width, lot area, lot frontage, height of side exterior main walls, height of front and rear exterior main walls, height of main pedestrian entrance, building length, front yard setback, east side yard setback, west side yard setback. On file, we have a survey, draft R plan, revised variances from February 13th, revised plan February 13th, original plans dated December 12th, 2025, cover letter, planning justification letter, arborist report, community planning report, heritage preservation service report, development engineering review memo, TRCA report, ravine and natural feature protection memo, and an urban forestry memo. Oh, I'm not quite finished. And a letter of objection from 231 Homewood, a petition of objection from 8 neighbors, and 2 late letters of support. All right, we have our applicant. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. I'm requesting a deferral of the applications.
Okay. And the reason for the deferral?
I have not been able to speak with regards to the reductions of 4 variances, and a couple of other modifications with the planner. He's been away until today.
Okay.
And also, I need to seek legal advice on the representations made by the proxy of the counselor, Lily Chen, that got the signatures for objecting on our proposal.
Okay. Do we have someone in the audience here today on this item?
Madam Chair, sorry to interrupt. Can we just get his name and address, please?
Oh, yes, sorry. Let's start with your name and address. I forgot to ask.
Yes, I apologize. My name is Vincent Maffey. I reside at 45 Comey Road, North York, M6M 2K9.
Thank you.
I'm agent for the owner of the property.
Thank you. So, sorry, I saw a hand up. Yes, there's a few people here. Okay. So the applicant has requested a referral to a subsequent meeting. But if you could come forward and just let us know your name and address, and if you have any concerns with the deferral request. Come ahead. You can have a seat, Mr. Maffey. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Should I talk about the general concern or just
No.
the referral?
We're just asking, first of all, we need your name and address, and then if you have any concerns with the deferral request. So that would mean the application would come back to another meeting later on, and there may be some changes to the application, so we don't want to hear what your concerns are with it in its current state. We'll wait till the actual final application.
Okay. My name is Ali Masoudi. I'm residing in 231 Homewood Avenue.
Okay.
A couple of houses down the application.
And do you have any concerns with it being deferred?
Well, I want this to be carried if possible because, it's better to have a decision based on the concerns that we have.
All right, so we will hear the concerns at a later meeting. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, and the other person who put their hand up, somebody else did? If you could come forward, or? Oh, okay. Okay. Staff, do we want to? Okay. We have a member in the audience who has a disability and isn't able to come forward to the microphone. So, yes, let's have your name and address. 270 Homewood Avenue. And your name? Catherine Botham. We okay with that? All right, thank you. And you don't have a concern with the deferral? Thank you. Anyone else? No? Do we have anyone online? Can't really tell. No? Okay, thank you. All right, let's take this into committee. Mr. Swartz?
just want to ask the applicant the same question I asked the previous applicant. Like, you didn't tell the neighbors that you were going to be deferring yet? Like, they're hearing about it the first time here? Is that right?
Madam Chair, through you, I really wanted to not proceed with this application based on the councilor's proxy that went around and obtained signatures of objections against our proposal by misleading those signatories. And if you look at the
Okay, but just, so I'm not opposed to the deferral. I just want, I'm just questioning the process because I wish that people would let residents know in advance so they don't have to make a trip here. And everything goes, like the deferral, the purpose is to meet with everybody and consult. And my question really is, when did you tell the residents that you were going to do this?
I did not, because there's a contentious relationship with one of the objectors. I did not speak with him.
Okay,
The neighbor, Kathy, and both of them and I get along quite well. We feed our birds at our bird feeder.
Okay,
I did not, because it was a spur of the moment decision made on other matters.
All right.
I think we can move on. All right, let's take it into committee. Mr. Bartolo.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, through you. I'll put forward a motion to approve this deferral to allow the applicant to make changes and consult with the neighbors.
Thank you. And a seconder? Mr. Nipfeld. All in favor of the deferral? That is carried. Thank you. So the deferral's been granted. You're welcome. All right. We are on to item 3. Am I right? My mouse over there. 49 Edgecombe Avenue. This is an application to construct a 3-story detached dwelling and a 2-story ancillary building garden suite in the rear yard of the property. One second here. We have variances for side main wall heights, number of stories, main pedestrian entrance height, building length, building depth, garden suite side yard setback, and covered platform screening. On file, we have a survey, plans, revised plans, December 9th, 2025, and Feb 11th, 2026, a presentation, an arborist report, tree protection plan, tree photos, community planning report, urban forestry memo, 4 letters of support, and 3 letters of objection. Do we have our applicant?
You do, Madam Chair. Good morning. Franco Romano, 321 Lakeshore, on behalf of the owner. I do have revisions off the top, if I can make those.
All right. Let's start with those.
Yes, please. So staff has got it. Oh, you're scrolling up. If you can go back down, staff, please, because the garden suite variances, I am removing those 2 variances. So the side yard setback and the porch screening for the garden suite are no longer required variances. The garden suite fully complies with the zoning bylaw.
Variance. So that's variance. I don't know why they numbered it this way, but they they numbered the variances individually. So it's variance 1 and 2 under the garden suite heading on the public notice. Correct?
That's correct, Madam Chair. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Any other changes?
No. If staff can bring up my presentation slides, I'm happy to walk through.
All right. We do.
Presentation if you'd like one.
Yep. I think our residents are all online. Anyone in the audience on this item? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. We do have some people in the audience. All right. You can do your presentation, Mr. Romano.
Terrific. If staff can just bring up this entire screen, that'd be, I'm only seeing part of that slide number 1. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So this is a project that involves a property. And if we stay on slide 1, please. If we stay on slide 1, please. Thank you. This is a project within a neighborhood that is seeing quite a bit of reinvestment and regeneration. And that regeneration and reinvestment is not identical to existing development, but it's compatible and harmonious. What we see here are properties and houses on Edgecombe, as well as on Caribou, Otter Crescent, all very adjacent to the subject site and within the same block. These buildings have building height, wall height, building length, building depth variances. And one of the things that you'll see is that there are a number of steps leading up to the first floor, anywhere ranging from 6 steps to 10 steps. Most of these dwellings have at least 7 to 8 steps leading up to the first floor, and that is the pedestrian entrance. Some of these would have been prior to the current bylaw, and some are post current bylaw. So what is being proposed is consistent with this, because the proposal is 2 stories of living above an integral garage, a wall height of 9.31 meters, and we'll see where those are manifest themselves, and a number of steps of 7 leading up to the first floor. On slide number 2, we'll see that building length and building depth exceeding the permissions under the zoning bylaw are common. 60% of, and this is just in the same block and the block opposite, 60% of properties have dwellings exceeding 17 meters and 25% exceed 20 meters. And we have those ranging up to 22.69 meters, as you'll see on this slide. On slide number 3, we'll see that the site is an irregular, we'll call it an irregular shaped rectangle. So that building depth is measured on an angle, and that is the pink line that runs in a diagonal from the front yard setback line to the rearmost pinch point of the rear platform over top of the basement. That is the 21.31 meters. What I'm showing in orange shade is what is in excess of 19 meters. That is the variance for building depth. However, when we look at the actual building itself, we'll see that the building length is 16.45 meters at the top, that's the north side, and 18.43 meters and 17.67 meters on the south side. So there's the first floor is a little longer, and that is where the garage is located at the front. So when we look at the building length and the building depth, it is a very minor area that is triggering the variance. If that were removed, this is a location where a platform is permitted as of right in a deeper fashion, because it could start at the 19-meter building depth and it could go to 0.9 meter side yard setback. The proposal has that building depth and building length with a 1.55 meter north side yard setback. So that's approaching 2 times the requirement. And on the south side, it's 5.12 meter side yard setback. So it's a significant distance from both side lot lines. In terms of trees, because this has been an issue that has been identified, only one would be affected by the length and depth, and that would be similarly affected by the platform. If we look at slide number 4, see that the wall height is for these eyebrow portions of the dwelling. That is your 9.31 meters. Very close to the 30% that's permitted under the zoning bylaw. And we'll see on this side where the entrance, the first floor height is shown in the brown in the lower right, very minor. The depth variance is shown in purple on the left, also very minor. The stairs associated with that rear does not count towards length and depth. So planning staff recommend a condition of approval that it be tied to the side elevations, and we're satisfied with that. That's an acceptable and appropriate condition. Thank you, Madam Chair. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Does the committee have any questions of the applicant? No? All right. Let's start with our neighbors. People in the audience first. You can decide who wants to go first. If you could come forward to the podium, please.
Good morning, members of the committee. You can hear me? Fine?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Hugh Corbett. I am the owner and occupant, along with my wife Denise Lash, of 47 Edgecombe Avenue, which is the property immediately to the south of 49 Edgecombe Avenue. You'll have to indulge me a bit. I just learned of the withdrawal of the garden suite variances, as you did this morning. That's the first time they've been communicated to us, so I'll have to recalibrate some of my submissions on the fly. We provided you with written submissions dated February 11th, as well as a series of photographs also February 11th as well, to give you some perspective. We've lived at 47 Edgecombe Avenue since 2008, so closing in on about 20 years now. In 2021, we completed a backyard renovation in which we added a pool, a play area at the rear, a fire pit, and other amenities. We have 4 adult children, all of whom we expect to be having their own kids shortly and returning to visit and enjoy our backyard area. Having the pool and the related amenities is central to our use and enjoyment of our backyard, and we expect that to only increase in importance as our kids return in future years. Just like to emphasize, though, that it's not just a seasonal concern here. The proposal will create a loss of privacy, in our view, which will extend around the year, just due to the nature of the building. So privacy, we have 3 main concerns about privacy. Regardless of how anyone's backyard is set up, we all have a reasonable expectation of privacy in our own backyards and at the back of our house. And again, as we've indicated, this is heightened or intensified for us because of the efforts we've made in our own backyard. The proposed variances and the construction of the garden suite will essentially decimate our privacy, not encroach on it slightly, but reduce it to 0. First is there's the construction of the garden suite, which is, make no mistake about it, this is a full second home. It's got a full dugout basement and 2 floors, each floor with 10-foot ceilings. So when someone is standing, and that second floor will have 5 floor-to-ceiling windows across its frontage, looking at the rear of the main dwelling. So when someone is standing on the second floor, they're 10 feet off the ground, they're looking through these floor-to-ceiling windows, they'll be looking directly down into our pool backyard area, a complete loss of privacy. We constructed the maximum permissible fence at our own expense around the yard to protect everyone's privacy, but the fence is essentially meaningless at this point. People will just be looking right over it. Second, the main dwelling, notwithstanding the submissions of my friend, the main dwelling will extend out significantly past our house so that it overlaps now more into our backyard area. It's also calling for a third floor to be added to it. So the third floor will, again, provide more viewing opportunities over the fence into it. But the third thing that really is troubling with this design proposal is this so-called large covered porch. It measures about 236 square feet. We're not convinced, and frankly, we're surprised that this was not identified as requiring a variance. It's essentially an elevated platform well above the ground, measuring roughly 236 square feet. Anyone sitting on that platform or standing on that platform will be able to view directly down into our backyard area. It's essentially it's like building scaffolding that just looks out over the fence and allows someone to look right down into our backyard. In addition to the loss of privacy, we also have concerns about the overall massing and scaling and proximity of the buildings. My friend has indicated that they've withdrawn the variance seeking to reduce the setback of the garden suite to our property. We're very thankful for that. But the main building with its 3 floors and the garden suite, they still both create the wall effect, if you will, whereby, you know, our kids in the play area at the rear of our property, people using the pool area, they're now looking up essentially at giant walls. It's like living next to an institution, not another neighbor's home. So the overall massing and density of these buildings, essentially 2 full homes being created, constructed on one property, are going to create these, you know, a loss of sky view, a loss of view along the properties to our neighbors. Right now, if you stand in our backyard, you can look up and down and see trees, a canopy of trees, other homes, other backyards, people enjoying it. Now it'll essentially be blocked out. There's no shadowing study that we're aware of, We are very, very thankful that we are to the south, and the impact will be hopefully relatively minimal to us. But we feel very badly for our neighbors to the north of 49, who now I think will face some severe shadowing limitations due to the garden suite and the main house. So lastly, just comment briefly on the trees. We appreciate that this body is not the decision-making authority for the removal of the trees, but we also understand that it is something that you should take into account when you're considering the overall effect of the plan. Notwithstanding what my friend said, where he said that essentially only one tree would have to be removed due to the building length or building depth requirements, this plan calls for the removal of, to my knowledge, all mature trees on this property. And as you can see in the photos that I've submitted, there are a number of these beautiful old blue spruce trees, which are taller than the houses themselves. When those are removed to accommodate the garden suite and to accommodate the main dwelling, those are going to reduce whatever modest privacy protections that we would have had at that time. Madam Chair?
Thank you. It's just, you're coming up to your time limit.
Thank you. I'm just winding up. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So our position has always been that when you look at these variances, either individually, although less so because they've been removed, but when you take them cumulatively, the effect is to create a design and a lot construction which is not only inconsistent with the neighborhood, but which also dramatically reduces our privacy and our use and enjoyment of our property. It essentially decimates our property. There will be the garden suite looking directly in, and as well as the second and third floor story with this huge covered porch, which will now essentially just creates a viewing platform into our backyard. We believe these variances do not meet the four-pronged test. Those are my submissions. If you'd like to ask any questions, we'll do our best to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions for the resident? No, I think we're okay. Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you for your time.
Next.
Good morning. My name is Will Cohen. I'm a graduate of Urban and Regional Planning at TMU, and I reside at 45 Edgecombe Avenue, 2 houses south of the application. And this is my statement of objection for the application at 49 Edgecombe. The proposal at 49 Edgecombe Avenue that seeks approval of a 3-story detached dwelling with a 2-story garden suite, along with 5 total variances, should not be considered minor. This development simply does not align with the character of our neighborhood, as no other 3-story detached dwellings exist on Edgecombe, making it unable to fit harmoniously with the existing built form. Additionally, no variance was included within the application surrounding the rear yard's covered porch, which contains setbacks of its own based on its height. If approved, this development would not only remove existing tree canopy on the south portion of the garden suite, but also create an unethical lack of open space to both adjacent backlots of the property. The culminative impact of increased height, increased sidewall height, excessive depth, and the structure setbacks push the proposal outside the intent of the zoning bylaw. The City of Toronto's official plan emphasizes neighborhood stability and states the following: ensuring that new development in residential areas is sensitive to the existing physical character. The proposal at 49 Edgecombe Avenue absolutely does not live up to that standard. A compliant 2-story dwelling without any setbacks would be a more than fine addition to the neighborhood. However, the variances requested here represent overdevelopment of the lot and set a concerning precedent for the street and community as a whole. For these reasons, I respectfully ask that the committee refuse the variances within this application, as well as consider the covered porch as an additional variance. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Any questions? No. All right. Is there anyone else in the audience? No? All right. Do we have someone online? Okay.
Hi, good morning, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
My name is Amir Zarif. I'm the neighbor directly on the north side of the proposed property at 49. We live at 51 Edgecombe Avenue. We recently purchased our property, and part of our decision-making in choosing this home was the landscape, the overall feel of the neighborhood, and the nature aspect of the backyard. And one of our biggest concerns, we've obviously invested in this property, and we've got 2 kids, and we're looking forward to making this our future family home and to live for a number of years. And in terms of development, we've always had it in our mind to develop a pool in the backyard and kind of create a space for ourselves, a private space for ourselves and our kids. And I think just one of the biggest concerns we have is the lack of privacy that we're going to have as a result of this removal of the trees that are on the property line. And they are all mature trees. And I think that's part of our concerns and major concern is the lack of privacy that we'll be losing. So we wanted to see if they can revise any of the planning, and if the city committee can make any suggestions to alleviate some of our concerns with regards to that.
All right, thank you very much. Any
I
questions?
appreciate it.
No? All right, that's everyone correct? Yeah, okay. Let's have Mr. Romano back to address the concerns that have been raised by the residents. And Mr. Romano, could you also include in your explanation your response to the urban forestry memo, which is recommending refusal of the building length and depth in order to, I guess, save some trees?
Yes, I'll speak to that. First, I'll start off, and thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the 3 residents. My client has been in discussions with neighboring residents, and you'll see that there's the letters of support. The garden suite, there are no side windows on the garden suite, so there's none pointing north or south, and the windows are all oriented towards the rear yard. The 3rd floor in the proposal is because the basement is being considered the 1st floor, and if we go back to slide number 1 of my presentation, you'll see that every single one of these dwellings have that same architectural quality. They all have an elevated midpoint of the basement, and they would all be considered 3 stories under today's bylaw definition. That bylaw definition changed not too long ago, and that's why we're seeing the 3 stories. It used to be the distance to established grade, and now it's the midpoint of the basement. The platform, if we go back to slide number 3, is again 5.12 meters from the south side yard, and the windows that are facing the south side of the existing building are all within the permitted length and permitted depth. If we go back to slide number 4, you'll see that there's on the 2nd floor, which is the top floor, there's a bathroom and a bedroom window up there. They were all under the 17 meters. That's on the opposite side, actually. And if staff can bring us to page 134 of this PDF, you'll see that lands to the rear of all of these properties face onto Avenue Road, and they're all apartments that extend basically to the rear lot line. And what you'll see, this is the rear of number 47, and you'll see that building in the middle of the photograph, and those have windows facing directly into the rear yard of number 47. That is a more direct view than the oblique view that my client's house and garden suite will have. My client is, the trees along this side are largely being maintained, but a couple are being removed, not because of the house and not because of the garden suite, but because of a proposed pool, which is as of right. So if staff can bring us to the arborist report, and this might be, I'm not sure what page this is on, but there's a tree protection plan. So the tree protection plan of that report, it'll probably be the last page of that report. So as that's coming up, we'll see that in terms of the house, the building height complies, and the wall height is only for those windows that project beyond the plane of the eaves. We're getting there. A few more, because these are all the photographs. There you go. Just past, exactly. There you go. Thank you kindly, appreciate that. So, Mr. Corbett misspoke when he said that that I said that one tree was being removed. I said there is one tree that's being affected that urban forestry is identifying, and that is tree number 5. And that tree is, and this isn't the latest arborist report, but that tree is next to the stairs of the platform at the back, and you'll see number 5. So that is the area that is being partially affected. There's a pinch point where the back post of that platform is being installed, and that post impacts the tree protection zone, but most of that tree protection zone is being maintained. So whether that tree needs to be removed will be for urban forestry to say, but I don't believe that it would be necessary to remove that tree. Again, there's a 1.55 meter side yard setback from that platform to the side wall, to the side lot line. And that's a significant amount of land that's being protected for that tree. What you'll see on this plan too, there's a series of circles on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. And all of those trees are being protected, and you'll see a bunch of replacement trees that are being planted on the right-hand side, those green circles. So those will help. That's vegetation that's being proposed as part of the arborist report, the replanting plan, because there are a couple of trees within the as of right building footprint that will have to be removed, and they're close to the dwelling. So those are replacement trees that will augment the existing tree canopy towards the south and to the north. You'll see that a bunch of those trees, most of those trees are being protected. And all of the trees next to the garden suite are being protected to the rear and on both sides. And in terms of, so I already mentioned the 3 stories. So that's, I believe that addresses, hopefully, Madam Chair, I'm happy to answer any questions if there's something that I missed about the urban forestry memo. Urban forestry does say that there's a condition relating to private tree injury or removal, and that is a process that my client is more than happy to go through and work with urban forestry. I just think that urban forestry's memo oversteps when they say that the building length and depth are impacting tree 5 in order to cause for it to be removed, because they're looking at it as a linear measurement, and that linear measurement, as I've shown on my slides, is not accurate. It's not what is being proposed in this instance. So thank you, Madam Chair, members of the panel.
All right. Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Romano? Mr. Swartz?
I just want some clarification on, I know you made some changes, and I'm not clear on what those changes are. He's doing something with the garden suite? What are you
Yeah,
doing
the
with
variances for the garden suite have been removed, so they no longer require, the garden suite no longer requires any variances, is what he said.
Okay, and then one of the residents mentioned the issue of privacy related to a balcony, I think?
The platform at the rear of the dwelling.
Rear?
Mm-hmm.
The dwelling, and I suppose the question would be in relation to privacy screens. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but if we were to recommend privacy screens, what's the applicant's position on that?
Yes, thank you for that question, through you, Madam Chair. Happy to accept a 1.5 meter high privacy screen on the, that would be the north side of the platform. Also do it on the south side, but again, the south side has a over 5 meter distance to the side lot line. So that'd be 1.5 meters from privacy screen.
All right. Any other questions of the applicant? Mr. Nipfel?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think the neighbor to the south also indicated a concern with overlook from that porch. So perhaps it would be a good idea to put those screens on both edges, the north and the south side. That would address the concerns as we heard them today. The other question or the other comment I would make is that the porch as it is open, and you presumably wouldn't have an objection to a condition that the porch remain open on three sides, the north, the south, and the, I guess it's the east.
Thank you for that clarification and question. Yes, that would be acceptable. It's how can I say, might be a bit tricky if we're putting up, I mean, a 1.5 meter privacy screen on the north and south sides doesn't create an enclosure, but I would say that it would remain open, but for the 1.5 meter privacy screen and any railing.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? No? All right, let us take this into committee. Anyone want to start? Mr. Nipfeld.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think based on Mr. Romano's initial comments, the garden suite isn't before us, and so the concerns about the garden suite are not, I don't think, are in our purview today. I think the variances related to the actual house are minor. The height, as Mr. Romano indicated, actually applies to a very small portion of the building, the windows that protrude above the particular eave line. The only concern that I have at the current time is this covered rear porch, and I believe the neighbors on either side echoed that concern with regard to privacy because it's elevated a fair bit. The other concern that I would have is if that porch became enclosed, then in fact it's part of the building and it basically changes all of the calculations for the size of the building. So I frankly have no difficulty with the application except for the rear porch, and as I discussed with Mr. Romano, I think it would be advised to have screening on the north and the south side to address the concerns of both adjacent neighbors, and a condition that, with the exception of that screening, that the porch remain open so that it isn't part of the main house.
Thank you. Anyone else? Comments? Mr. Nipfeld, would you like to turn that into a motion?
Certainly, my pleasure. I'd like to move approval of the application, Madam Chairman, subject to the planning condition that variance 1 regarding main wall height be developed in accordance with the south and north elevation drawings. The forestry condition, which is forestry condition number 2, which is the alternate to refusal of the application, and that the north and the south sides of the covered rear porch have privacy screens 1.5 meters in height from the floor of the porch, and that with the exception of the screens, that the covered porch remain open on the north, south, and east sides.
Thank you. Seconder?
Madam Chair, just for clarity, because we have the numbers are doubled, so you have two variances, one. Just want to make sure it's for the house.
Oh, it's for the house, sorry.
Sorry.
Because we're not dealing with the...
I know, but our public knows because it's on there. I just want to make sure.
Okay, well, I meant for the house.
Okay, and it's as amended.
As amended, right.
Thank you.
Clarify. Okay, thank you. Seconder? Mr. Bartolo, all in favor? That is 4 in favor. Opposed? Mr. Schwartz. All right. Thank you. Item number 4. You're welcome. 6 to 8 Tippett Road. Right. Thank you, Mr. Bartolo. All right. One moment. Something weird in my agenda. Okay. This is a revised proposal for 2 towers to be increased by 1 story each, no increase in height in meters, to reduce the non-residential space, reduce indoor amenity space, and to permit home occupations, live work. Variances are for indoor amenity space, permissions for home occupations, floor area for home occupations, minimum non-residential gross floor area, maximum non-residential gross floor area on the 2nd level, maximum stories, I just wrote various, in the north building. On file, we have previous decisions from September 12th, 2024, February 24th, 2022, survey, cover letter, plans, tree inventory, photos, arborist report, presentation, counselor letter, bylaw 42-2022, and a diagram schedule. Have our applicant in front of us.
Morning, Madam Chair. Last name's Bronskill, first initial D for David, just the address 333 Bay Street, Suite 3400 in Toronto. Here as agent for the applicant. And Madam Chair, if there are any planning questions, Mr. Doherty is here from Bousfields. We don't intend both to speak. Our 5 minutes will be our 5 minutes as required.
Okay. Thank you. I don't think we have no one in the audience on this item other than the applicant. No? All right. Does the committee wish a presentation? Do you want to write a Reader's Digest version of the variance? Perhaps a simplified explanation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What I could do is just maybe walk through the presentation that we have before the committee, which was our effort to group the variances and to summarize the ask that's being made of the committee. And if staff are able to find that presentation for us, it would be appreciated. That's the one. Thank you very much. If we could start with the next page, first page of the presentation, after that cover page, it just will give the committee an idea of this site context. You can see the site there on the west side of Tippett Road. I've been involved actually in this little quadrant since it was originally employment areas, going back, 10 to 15 years. And we've done the project on the north side of Wilson at Faywood. Malibu, our client who's here today, initially did the project at 9 Tippett, which is the southeast corner of Wilson and Tippett. And then there's been a very long process that has led to this project before you, 4 and 6 Tippett. And as well, I can advise the committee just to the south of this site, 2 Tippett, is now the subject of a settlement through City Council for a residential project right at the south end of Tippett. The next page just gives the committee a little bit more of that background to show you. Sorry, staff, it'd be the third page of the presentation if you have it. Not the letter, but the presentation we were just in. I just want to make sure that the committee can see it. Thank you. That's it. This shows the development history. You can see that we started back for this site in July of 2016. And it's gone through what was then an LPAT process. There have been a couple of committee of adjustment applications that have come through as this 2-building project has been refined through its construction. A lot of that, Madam Chair, honestly, has been what to do with the non-residential that was initially proposed. It is both a difficult area for that non-residential space, and as I think the committee can well appreciate, it's also a very difficult time for non-residential GFA in certain areas of the city. This application really focuses on some of the non-residential or retail space that now exists on Tippett. And what we're here to do is take some of that space and frankly redeploy it as what are called home occupation units, or what we know as live-work units, which have also evolved over a considerable period of time. As the committee might appreciate, it's a balance when you're doing these home occupation units. If you have too much live, they function as live. If you have too much work, they might function only as work. And you want to strike that balance both through the zoning definition and ultimately the design of the units as well. What this design does is it's a slight increase to 40% of the residential, but it's on the second floor in what would be a new mezzanine. And that's why you see the story increase in the variances. The actual built form envelope and metric height are not changing, but another story is being put in. That's a second level, which is the residential. The idea is that residential is then on the second level, so at grade you have the quote-unquote work. Street animation, hopefully as a result of that, but also in then ensuring that you are getting that live work. Something similar was done in design actually for the live work units for that project that I showed you on the north side of Wilson at Faywood. So we've grouped the variances. It does result in a slight decrease in amenity space by 6 square meters, but it's 6 square meters. We do need the variance. We've grouped variances 2 to 6, which implement the home occupation. Variances 7-9 then result in a slight decrease in the non-res, reallocated to the residential GFA, but the overall GFA remains the same. And then as I indicated to you, variances 10 to 13 is then that increase in stories. Next page, if staff don't mind. If the committee's interested, you can see how we've taken the different live-work uses that are permitted as of right in the CR zone and how they will then be in the proposed live-work operation. So a business can have the clients attending the premises. The work portion may comprise up to 40% of the dwelling unit, whereas only 25% was permitted, so we're trying to get a little bit more. And then the next slide, you can just see, I'll do them quickly, the existing ground floor retail on Tippett and Monte Quinter Road. What is now being proposed, you will see that Tippett retail in green as live-work townhouses or home occupation, just on the next page, staff. We've also included then the stats if you need them, but that is the overall genesis of the application. I'm going to suggest to you, in nature, it's minor. There are no impacts. It's in keeping with the site-specific official plan amendment approved in the area. It is triggering, I'm going to say, a longer list of variances than we might have expected. But that's just the nature of what we're trying to do on the site to ensure that the space that is under construction can be well used. It does result in 8 more units. It does have the support of the councillor, and we're obviously hopeful it would have the committee support too.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right. Take it into committee. Mr. Fazeli.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Madam Chair. Through you, I think it's a appropriate application based on also the evidence that we have and the explanation of the applicant. Seems to me this satisfy the 4 test. I don't have any objections, so forwarding motion for approval.
Thank you. Seconder, Mr. Schwartz, thank you very much. All in favor? That is carried. The application's been approved. Thank you. All right, do we need a quick break? Anyone? 5 minutes? Thank you. Be right back. All right, we are back, and we are on item number 5, 7 St. Denis Drive and 10 Grenoble Drive. This is an application to alter the development standards for a multi-tower residential development by reducing the number of long-term bicycle parking spaces, modifying loading space requirement, and increasing driveway width. We have variances for minimum long-term bicycle parking spaces, loading space requirements, and driveway width. And we have our applicant in front of us. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. My name is Hamza, and, Hamza Shatila, and I'm representing the agent for this file. I live at 145 King Street West, Suite 610.
Thank you. All right, anyone in the audience on this item? Nope. All right. Okay, do we need, my colleagues, do we need, I have one question for you. I don't think we really need a formal presentation.
Sure.
But we may have some questions. My question is, with respect to the transportation services memo regarding the payment in lieu of parking, that is something that has been done or is going to be done?
No, so that's something that's going to be done, and it'll be done before the first above-grade building permit is issued.
So it's a requirement of it?
Yes, it's a requirement, correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, anyone else have questions? Oh, thank you for putting that up. Yep. Just refresh our memories based on. Oh, okay, so it's a condition we should apply to the, yep. Okay, thank you. Mr. Swartz, you had a question?
So just for the applicant.
Yep.
Just, I see you're reducing bicycle parking,
Yes, correct. The long-term bicycle parking spaces.
but that, I mean, the city is trying to get people to use non-car methods of transportation, so it just seems inconsistent with the city's direction. Why are you doing this?
Sure. So the reason why we're doing this is to actually make use of a program that the city has put in place, and the program was enacted as part of Bylaw 223/2025, which supports residential developers or any applicants to half the number of long-term bicycle parking spaces. And in lieu for that, there's a payment to be made to expand the city's bike share program.
All right, thank you. I think we can take this into committee. Mr. Nipfeld.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think this is a very straightforward application, and I'm pleased to see the proposal to expand the bike share program. I would like to move approval of the application, which I think clearly meets the tests and is in the public interest, subject to the transportation services condition about payment in lieu of providing bike share parking.
Thank you. And a seconder, Mr. Fazeli, all in favor? That is unanimous, carried. The
Yeah,
application's
thank you.
been approved. Thank you. All right, item number 6, 20 PAPERBIRCH Drive. This is an application to alter the existing detached dwelling by constructing a one-story rear addition, new rear deck, and pool enclosure. We have variances for lot coverage, canopy encroachment, exterior stair width, architectural feature encroachment into front yard, south side yard, front yard, sorry, let me start that again. Architectural feature encroachment into front yard setback, south side yard setback, pool equipment setback to north side lot line. On file, we have a survey, plans, planning justification letter, an arborist report, and a petition in support. Have our applicant in front of us. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair and fellow committee members. My name is Maya Marchese. I'm a planner at Design Plan Services located at 87 Skyway Avenue.
Thank you. Anyone here on this item? No? All right. Do we want a presentation? Panel? Okay, I don't think we need a presentation unless there's something specific. First of all, I didn't ask you if any changes to make to the application. No? Okay.
Madam Chair, no.
And was there anything you wanted to point out particularly, or I think we could just take it into committee?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's take it into committee. Mr. Fazeli?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Through you, I think it's a good application, straightforward to me. Satisfy the four tests. For that reason, I think I'd like to forward a motion for approval of this application. I believe there were no conditions. No, that is all. Thank you.
All right, and do we have a seconder? Mr. Bartolo? Thank you. All in favor? That is carried, approved. You're welcome. All right, number 7. For North Hills Terrace. This is an application to alter the existing one-story detached dwelling by constructing a one-story rear and front additions. Lot coverage, variances are for lot coverage, building length, front yard setback, and rear yard setback. On file, we have a survey, plans, photos, community planning report.
Committee members,
A letter.
my name is.
One moment, please, one moment. Letter of objection from 22 Moccasin Trail. All right, now we'll hear from our applicant.
Madam Chair, committee members, my name is Edward Begay, 14 Billy Side Pike Drive, Toronto. I'm the applicant for the file.
Okay, thank you. And anyone in the audience on this item? No? All right, we do have someone online. So if you could provide us a brief presentation, please, of the application. Oh, yeah.
So we applied for 4 minor variances, but after we spoke with staff and we saw the letter from one of the homeowners, the neighbors, we reflected that and we did changes on the for 3 of them.
All right, so let's go back to the public meeting notice and explain which ones you're changing. Believe it's up on the screen. So variance 1, lot coverage.
Yeah, lot coverage were changing from 26.8 to 26.3.
All right, thank you. Variance 2, building length.
We're changing it from 19.21 to 18.86.
All right, and variance 3.
Number 4.
Any change to variance 3?
No.
Okay, variance 4, rear yard setback.
Yeah, we're changing it from 5.6 to 5.84.
All right, any other changes?
No.
All right, thank you. So we do have a neighbor online who has issued a concern. So let's have a brief presentation. Hello? Did we lose him? Oh. Mr. Bagage?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you please give us a brief presentation of the application for the neighbor's benefit?
So we're proposing to alter the existing one-story detached building by adding 4 feet in the front and I think now it's 11 feet on the rear. It's a big lot, but if you can see the size and the shape of the lot didn't give us too much room and how they were located all the interior of the house. So the only way we can do some additions was on the rear, on the front, back. And as I said, so we discussed that, all these changes with the staff. And we did those amendments. Currently, the house is rented, but the homeowners very soon, they want to move because they're retiring and they want to move here themselves. That's why they're asking those changes on getting bigger size. As for the concerns of the neighbor, we didn't raise the second story on that purpose, so we don't want to have like problems with the neighbors for the privacy. So we kept the 1 story, and they have windows and they have everything, so I don't think we're adding anything as existing. And also we are like 5.6 meters, now 5.84 meters far from the side setback. So
Okay.
In my opinion, it's a I don't see those variances that not minor. I think they passed the test, the 4 test, but it's going to be your opinion.
All right. Thank you. Let's hear from the neighbor.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Mona Claparis. I reside at 22 Moccasin Trail. I did submit an email with our concerns. They may not be, elaborate. We're just neighbors. We've lived at this property for 25 years. Presently, we are concerned about privacy. Right now, the house at the back, where they would like to do the renovations, has no windows, but now there will be windows. And the property is on a hill, so it does come further back and it does overlook. Now, I'm aware changes happen, and we are, this is fine. We recognize and are grateful that the people want to live there and that it will not be a rental or an Airbnb. Privacy, yes, is a concern. There will not be, like from the property line, will be a lot closer. It's not a deep backyard, but it's on a hill. The next concern that we have is trees. We do have privacy, which we're very grateful for, but we're concerned that with the construction, will the trees survive? That is just we hope that they will not be removed. The third concern that we have is presently in the spring, and if there are severe thunderstorms, we get a lot of water runoff from the properties behind us. And there, consequently, our basements, not our basements, but our backyards, at least number 22, myself, and number 24, we experience flooding in our backyard from, I guess, the slope because of the properties behind us. So we're concerned about runoff. Where will the downspouts be on these? The roof size is increasing. Where will the excess runoff go to? I hope that will be addressed. And those are my concerns just as a neighbor, and that's what I'm concerned about.
All right, thank you. Let's bring the applicant back to address your concerns.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to assure the neighbor that the trees are going to be protected. They're not going to be removed. And if you can see on the site plan, it's a lot of distance. They are within the distances for everything that the city requires for the tree protection. And as I said, for privacy, we didn't go a second story, even though we are allowed to have a second story, also to have windows. There's no condition to the windows not allowed there. And the house is not high. It's not high. It's not 1.2 feet. It's lower than that. So I don't see where the privacy goes there. But there's a lot of trees, bushes there between the two houses, if you can see in the picture that we provided. And there's a lot of privacy there. That's on the front. And the rear, you can see in the rear there's a lot of trees, yeah. So there's a lot of bushes, trees there. So we're not gonna remove those. No intention of the homeowner to remove those. He likes those. And they are also on the easement area. There is an easement area on both sides of the properties. So.
Okay. Do you want to say something about the water?
I think it's gonna be the same amount of the water, so we're not gonna do any changes on the grading. It's gonna stay the same, the grading. But if they have any concerns, because it's the roof now, it's gonna the area is being substituted by the roof, so the area of the rain coming down is gonna be the same. So we're not adding anything on that. And if you can see on the picture, there is a big slope. So whatever we can do, if we do any grading, we can't prevent the water going on that area because it's a slope. And all the houses, it's at the same level on this. The both houses on both sides, they're flat, the same level with our house. And I didn't see them. The house on the right side, number 6, I think they're still building or they built the house. And yeah, you can see the house 2-story. I didn't see them doing any change on the grading. So
okay.
whatever committee can recommend, we can do it for the downspouts, but I don't think they're gonna help too much given the condition of the land there.
Okay, thank you. Many questions of the applicant? No? All right. Thank you very much. Let's take
You're
this into
welcome.
committee. Mr. Bartolo?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. With the modifications made in line with the staff report here and the explanation from the applicant, I'm of the opinion that this meets the 4 tests, and I don't really see any adverse impacts to the neighborhood. Therefore, I will put forward a motion to approve this application subject to the following revisions. That variance number 1 be changed to 26.3 meters, variance number 2 changed to 18.86 meters, variance number 4 be changed to 5.84 meters, and subject to the conditions of the urban forestry memo attached.
All right, thank you. And a seconder?
Yes, I'll second that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Vizzelli? All in favor? That is, all in favor? Okay. That is 3 in favor, all opposed? Sorry? Forestry? There isn't a forestry, is there? No forestry? Oh, did you say forestry?
Thank you, Deputy Secretary Treasurer. I'll amend that. There's no forestry condition on this file. I
All right,
apologize.
thank you. Okay, and Mr. Fazeli seconds the motion still. All in favor? That is 4 in favor. Opposed? Mr. Nipfeld. All right, the application's been approved.
Thank you so much, and just wanna let know the committee that all the changes has been already sent to the committee. So I did the changes prior.
All
On
right,
the drawings.
okay,
Yeah. So
thank you. Okay, item 8, 109 PARKLEA Drive. This is an application to construct a new 2-story detached duplex dwelling with a basement walkout and rear deck. The variances are for front main wall height, rear main wall height, portion of front main wall height seen beyond the rear main wall, eaves projection into west side yard, and west side yard setback. On file, we have revised requested variances, survey, plans, revised plans, presentation, tree photos, urban forestry memo, and urban forestry conditions. Have our applicant. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Because I'm.
Yes?
Can you hear me?
You're fading now. We heard you perfectly at the beginning.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. Heidi Evangelista on behalf 9 Parklea Drive.
Okay. And your address, Ms. Evangelista?
53 Bentworth Avenue, Toronto.
Thank you. And before we begin, do you have any changes to make to the application?
I do, Madam Chair. We worked very closely with planning for this particular file. And we have removed variance number 3, where the portion of the front main wall can be seen beyond the rear main wall. That variance is out.
Okay, any other changes?
No, Madam Chair. Planning staff was okay with the application other than that particular variance.
Okay. And forestry, this is one of the, oh, it's a 4. Okay. All right, we don't have anyone here on this item, I don't believe. No, we have no one online. Do we need a presentation, panel? Mr. Nipfeld?
Could we just get a question to the
Sure.
applicant?
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Evangelista, could you comment on the forestry condition, the forestry request? They've indicated that the application should be deferred to determine if an existing Norway maple can be protected. Have you had conversations with them, and if so, can you bring us up to date?
Yes, so I did reach out to the forestry department because that one Norway maple will be protected. We are also going to put kind of like a bullnose on the driveway, and we are creating, the driveway will be of permeable stone. The edge of the driveway to the trunk of the tree is approximately add that number in my brain. The edge of the driveway is approximately 1.71 meters from the edge of the driveway to the tree trunk. Just the peripheral of the canopy does go beyond, but in accordance to what an arborist has reported, it'll be minimal excavation for the driveway because it will be permeable pavers. And I at the end of the day, we do need forestry because there are forestry conditions, but they will be okay with the way we have presented the driveway.
All right, further?
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? No? Are we ready to take this into committee? Yes? All right. Somebody want to?
Yes.
Mr. Fazeli?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, I think with the modification that the applicant made, it make it more reasonable. Also in terms of the forestry that the applicant and Mr. Nipfel requested the clarification, I think once they go through the process, it will be clarified. And I appreciate the explanation of the applicant as well. So for that reason, I think it's a good application, satisfy the 4 test. I forward a motion to approve as amended, which is with the removal of variance number 3 and subject to the forestry conditions.
All right, do we have a seconder for that motion? Mr. Nipfel? All in favor? Excuse me. That is carried. All right, the application as amended has been approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so items 9 and 10 were deferred, correct? So we are on item 11. I know. Item 11 is 11 Addington Place. And it's to construct a new 2-story dwelling with a rear deck. The variances are for rear deck setback to the east lot line, east side yard setback, west side yard setback, building length, lot coverage, driveway width, height of front exterior main wall, excuse me, height of rear exterior main wall, height of side exterior main walls, and building depth. On file, we have a survey, plans, presentation material, transportation review comments, urban forestry memo, a letter of support from 6 Addington Place, a late letter of support, and a late community planning report. All right, so first of all, let's have our applicant. All right, welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Lance Caprillion from Studio Limina. I am the agent for the owners, Mladen and Sonia Kopachevich, who are here today. Do you have any questions for them?
All right, do we have anyone else here on this item? I don't think so, and we don't have anyone online. First of all, do you have any changes to make to the application today?
We did make one change. It is in the file, but it was made late. And this was a change that came out of discussions with planning staff for reduction in coverage. I think that is that number 4 perhaps?
Coverage is number 5.
5, sorry, yes. So we agree with the planning staff on this change, which is to reduce the variance from 37.5% to 32%.
Okay, thank you. Could we have the community planning report up? Because that was a late one, right? Thank you. All right. Does anyone want a presentation on this one? Questions? Mr. Bartolo?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So with the 5.5% reduction in lot coverage, it did not change anything else, like length, width, setbacks, everything remains the same? Because presumably you took it from somewhere, right?
Yes, it didn't come from the building, actually. It came from the shed and from decks and things like that. So we worked around with those other elements to preserve the building. There were no other impacts on the building variances.
Understood, thank you.
Anyone else? For some reason, my screen is zoomed rather large. Regarding the rear, I don't know if we're calling that a patio or covered element.
Yes.
Do you have any concerns with us putting a condition of that it remains unenclosed?
No.
Okay.
It's covered, but it is intended to be unenclosed, yes.
We just want to make sure it stays that way.
Yes, fair enough.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay, let's take it into committee. Mr. Nipfel?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I think this is a commendable application. I appreciate the work that you've done with the planning department. I think that's improved the application. I'd be prepared to make a motion if no one. I'd like to move approval of the application as amended with the lot coverage changed to 32%. That's variance number 5. Forestry condition number 1, there are transportation conditions, and that the rear covered deck is to remain open on 3 sides or unenclosed, whatever term is clearer. And with that, I think that this clearly meets the 4 tests and is an asset to the community.
All right, thank you. Seconder, Mr. Fazeli? All in favor? That is carried. The application as amended has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for sitting for the amount of time. Couldn't have been easy.
If I could just say one thing, the kids have been watching this, and I think they've learned a lot about how this process works, so
Always
thank you.
happy to help in their education.
Perfect.
You're welcome. All right, we are on item 12. 79 Empress Avenue. This is an application for a new detached dwelling, 2-story detached dwelling. We have variances for lot coverage, height of all exterior main walls, building length, east side yard setback, and west side yard setback. On file, we have a previous decision from November 3rd, 2022, a survey, plans, modifications to variances, revised plans, presentation, photos, 3 letters of support from 84 and 91 Empress Avenue and 64 Princess Avenue, a forestry memo, and a late community planning report. And our applicant,
It's me.
You're back.
I'm back. You have me all day, Madam Chair.
Oh, okay, and we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Ida Evangelista on behalf of the owners of 79 Empress Avenue.
And just for the record, your address?
Sure, 53 Bentworth Avenue, Toronto.
All right, and do you have any changes to make to the application today?
We do, Madam Chair. Again, we have worked very closely with planning, and we've made a couple of changes. Variance number 1, we've reduced our lot coverage to 33%.
Okay.
And variance number 3, the building length has been removed.
All right, thank you.
Okay. This does differ. Yes, this was in front of committee, I believe, back in 2022, but since then the family has grown. So they just required some additional space within the home, but a lot of the variances, including main wall height, is much better than what it was back in 2022. And as you see, we have letters of support from some of the neighbors, and I'm open to any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you. Anyone have questions? No. No? All right, I think we'll just take this into committee. All right.
Yes.
Mr. Fazeli?
Through you, Madam Chair. Thank you. I'd like to forward a motion. I think it's the appropriate application, given the amendment also. So I'd like to forward the motion to approve the application as amended, which is change to variance number 1 to 33% and removal of variance number 3. I also, let me check if there are any forestry.
Yes, forestry 1.
Yes, I'd like to add that condition of forestry to this application as well.
All right. Do we have a seconder? Mr. Swartz? All in favor? That is carried. The application's been approved.
Thank you, and I'll see you this afternoon.
All right. That was 12. We are on 13. 76 Burndale Avenue. This is an application to legalize and maintain the garden suite that's currently under construction, and this was deferred from January 22nd, 2026. Variances are for east side yard setback, west side yard setback. On file, we have survey plans, supporting material, community planning staff report, and a letter of objection. We have our applicants.
Hello, good afternoon. It's Glenn Rubinoff Design Group, 2 St. Clair Avenue West.
Thank you. We do, anyone in the audience on this item? No? On this item? Okay, great. We have 1 person in attendance and we have a few people online. So if you could give us a brief present. Oh, first of all, do you have any changes to make today, Mr. Rubinoff?
No, this is this application going forward. This was not deferred from January 22nd. There was another application that was before the committee on the property for the main building.
Thank you.
This is an application which was brought forward as a result of missed variances by the city that were caught about 2.5 months after the building permit was issued. And the building has been built in accordance with the building permit that was issued. So it's a situation, we don't even want to be here for this. We're just in a situation where this garden suite was built in accordance with the building permit. And then we got a notification on January 2nd that a re-review came back and they determined that they missed side yard setbacks on both sides for this unit, as the unit had windows in it. The examiner pointed out that she reviewed it as if it had no windows, but she in fact acknowledged that it did have windows in the original permit. So nothing has changed with these plans that were issued, and we'd like to proceed with it as it is. I will point out that the community planning also kind of acknowledges this, but also asked for some privacy. There is a photo that was submitted showing the windows in place and a fence. It's only on the ground floor level that there are windows, and the fence completely covers those windows. So really the variances are for the ground floor windows, and there is a fence currently in place. If you look there, there's another photo, I believe, on the side.
So,
There. So the fence on the side there indicates that the windows are not projecting up into the second floor in any way.
okay, so how would you intend to address the community planning report condition, the opaque screening?
Yeah, they're talking about the fence. I believe they're talking about the fence. We're fine with their recommendation. Opaque fencing along the east and west side, a minimum of 1.8. So we would effectively raise the fence up to that 1.8. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions, other questions? Mr. Nipfel?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Could you explain from the discussions you may have had with planning, the fence actually has to have a length, or the way it's written, it's the full length of the entire property, but presumably it's to protect view from the ground floor windows, which are frankly quite minor. But did you have a discussion about the fence extending from a certain point to a certain point?
Actually, no, this is just a condition that they put in. They asked us to show them photos, and we showed them the photos along there. We would be fine for the length of the building to have the fence raised for that portion of it. Obviously, you know, it could be done along the entire property, but sometimes that has a detrimental effect to the neighbors as well, because, you know, we don't want to build taller walls necessarily. But it's just one of those situations where it's an existing fence that was there. But we're okay, whatever the committee feels is appropriate. You know, but it is only affected by the windows of the accessory building.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I think you've explained why we're here. I think we'll hear from the neighbors first, and then we'll let you address their comments. So, gentlemen in the audience, you can come forward first.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Committee of Adjustment. I'm Richard Zagowski. I am the neighbor right behind 76 Burndale Avenue. I live at 81 Burnett Avenue. And we have a dual presentation. My wife and I will present something. I will speak to it first, and then my wife will present something in a small time period. So,
just so you know, you only have 5 minutes total.
yeah, we're aware of that, so we have to talk quickly, okay? This garden suite, we have objections to all this variances. The garden suite buildings obstructing our property and enjoyment of our property. The combined side yard setback, east and west, is about 2 feet. That's quite a bit. The owner has been usurping our property without due regard to our property at 81 Burnett and adjacent properties. This is contrary to being a good neighbor. The variance is a fire safety issue because right beside that, there's a huge coniferous tree there, as tall as this building with branches emanating from it. The lower branches have been cut back. We don't want any more branches cut back. The tree won't look properly, okay? So what we're concerned is the adjacent variance will add that much less room to our tree should a fire occur. That fire will engulf the tree, and our property is right close by. There's a shed also right beside in our neighbor there that will be engulfing our property too. So we request perhaps a variance on this because there's a issue of shadowing, how much this property is looking towards our we're surrounded by this huge monstrous building, okay? And it's covering our garden, our plants and flowers, and we don't have enough sunlight going into that little area there. Right behind us there, we have a patio deck there and our living room, and all this is just removing any privacy that we have and proper sunlight on our property. So how much time do we have? 3 minutes, okay. So basically, the garden suite is a very large property, and the concern is sunlight and privacy. The same thing for the west side. There's a shed there, like I mentioned before, and concern is of fire safety. Should anything occur, due to fire, that both the tree and that shed will be engulfed, and our properties will be affected. So, so the deviation basically, like mentioned before, does not comply with the bylaws, and we don't want to go anything beyond what the bylaw says. So that has to be corrected, and the fire safety has to be addressed, and the shadowing has to be addressed. And I'll leave the rest to my wife. Marie, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a couple of concerns. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I have a couple of concerns with the actual setback. The variance between 1.2 meters and 1.5 is 19% on the east side and 19% on the west side. Those aren't minor variances. In total, the two variances are a 38% shortfall from the required setbacks. This is a major variance. 38% shortfall is a major variance. The concerns that we have, Richard's mentioned the fire concerns with, there's fences all around, so basically they're that much closer to 3 wooden fences and the trees. In addition to the fire hazard, we think this reduces the overall character of the neighborhood. There's just not enough space there. There's a potential problem with runoff, because this reduces the soft landscaping that's available. Our street is on a hill. The whole street is on a hill running eastward. So there will be, there could be runoff into the neighboring lots if there's a huge downpour. Okay, I also have a concern that...
Can you speak up?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There's a concern, I have a concern with the backyard setback, which is not in this letter. There was a new tree protection plan. We have 3 very, very large Norway spruce trees. They're huge. We moved in 40 years ago. We've been here for 40 years. The trees were huge then. They are huge. They're taller than all of everything around them. There was a tree protection plan specifically for one of the 3 trees, and I've never been able to satisfactorily get any kind of confirmation that this tree protection plan was properly included in the build, and this is something that we request. In addition to objecting to the side setbacks, we request that the backyard setback be inspected and to confirm that it is in compliance with the tree protection plan. Our trees, an arborist came and checked the trees and did the plan, and the 3 of them are in very good condition. The one that's in question is in good condition. They're huge, they're beautiful trees,
and we need to keep them protected. So that's something that should also be at least investigated, that the construction was in compliance. And I've submitted a few photos. I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell, but just photos about showing the backyard excavation. Thank you
Okay,
very much for your time.
We will ask the applicant to address your comments and concerns. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Rubinoff. Oh, sorry, we have one other neighbor. I'm sorry. Before we bring Mr. Rubinoff back.
Hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. It's Jean Ng, and I'm at 70 Burndale Avenue. I'm 2 doors from the subject property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the side yard setbacks where there are openings are primarily used to reduce the risk of fire spread between adjacent properties and secondarily for privacy. Since this garden suite is already built, this variance really is to grant the windows and doors as requested or have them cover it up entirely. And moving the side walls to 1.5 meters is not really realistic since the structure is already built. So from a privacy standpoint, the windows proposed will have full view of several neighbors' backyards to the east. The window that the applicant showed in the picture was to the west. The house slopes to the east, and from the east, the window, you can see at least 3-4 full backyards of property on the other side. And none of the neighbors would consider this a minor variance. You can see the entire backyard. The staffing report does speak to the windows in terms of privacy, but does not consider fire safety. In my letter, it's on the first page. If you can scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, this one. Yeah, if you can stop there for a minute. The Ontario Building Code, Table 9.10.14.4 discusses unprotected openings, and as I understand it now, garden suites are exempt from that OBC requirement. However, the city has the right and responsibility to implement fire safety standards as it deems necessary, and oftentimes uses the OBC provisions as guidelines. So looking at the actual bylaw from the city, the garden suite states that if the side lot line does not abut a street and there are openings such as doors and windows in the main side wall, the greater of 1.5 meters and the amount of 10% of the lot frontage is required. And so in this case, the applicant should need to meet the 1.5 meter requirement. So again, the side yard setbacks are important to reduce fire jumping from one structure to another. Doors and openings are not fire rated on the side, and they are considered unprotected openings. They allow for fire to exit a burning building more easily, and the 1.5 meter distance provide a level of separation to dissipate the heat before reaching a neighboring structure. The difference between 1.2 meters and 1.5 meters might not seem like a lot, but in a fire situation, this is a big difference. The applicant's west side wall has approximately 12.7% of unprotected openings. This is very large. And looking at OBC standards, it would have required a 2 meter setback. So having a 1.2 meter as he has currently is a big difference. And we're just a little bit scared, to be honest. The garden suite is a two-story building. and it's surrounded by a canopy of large coniferous trees that are probably about 20 meters high. Can you stop scrolling for a minute and go back, if you don't mind? Keep going back. Okay, just here for a minute. Thank you. Yeah, so the applicant did not identify the side yard setback variances at the time he submitted the building permit, and the city zone examiner also missed the variance. It's unclear if Toronto Fire Services was aware of this variance when the permit was granted because it wasn't presented as a variance. So without a written Toronto Fire Services letter acknowledging this variance and deeming it minor, we ask that you refuse this variance because it has serious fire safety implications. The applicant also stated that the reason for not complying was because the city missed the variance. It's also the applicant's responsibility to know and adhere to city bylaws and should not be used as a reason for non-compliance.
All right, if you could wrap up, please, because you've reached your time limit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, like the other part really is about the 45-meter distance. I just want to point out that even though there might have been some garner some support from Toronto Fire about the 45-meter distance, it does not meet it based on what's written in this providing a fire department access to a garden suite document. So based on all the information and in summary, I ask that you refuse this variance and have the applicant cover up the openings.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Rubinoff, let's have him back.
Hello, yes, thank you. So yes, I can address the items related to zoning. I can simply state that any fire code, anything related to building code, that's a separate review done by the city, and that was done back when the permit was issued back in October. That review was done. They don't look at the zoning, they just look at strictly at building code requirements, fire safety. All of that was addressed at that time. Nothing has changed. And there were windows on the plans at the time, so building code examiner would have reviewed it at that point. So I'm not sure that there's really much to speak on code related stuff. The concern about the rear yard setback was brought up. There's no variance for rear yard setback. We were complying with that. We thought we were complying with everything, but the rear yard setback's at 1.5 meters, so it wasn't picked up as an issue. The shadowing concerns, I'm not sure what the concern is specifically. There is no building height variance. There never was. This was a compliant building when we applied for the permit for it. It's just come up with the windows when we were notified in January that they had missed that. As far as I'm not sure that the runoff and all that, I mean, that's all being reviewed under the building permit process. And we submitted a grading and drainage plan and the city accepted it. So I don't believe there's anything to address on that front.
Could you just maybe speak to the tree protection element?
And again, we went through and did a modification to the foundations to protect trees in the back. So the actual basement's cut back a fair bit. So we worked with forestry throughout, and the forestry gave us a permit. They've also do their inspections on site. So we have no issues that have arisen from forestry. We just simply did what we need to do to protect trees and to comply with the bylaws.
All right, thank you very much. Any further questions of Mr. Rubinoff? No? All right. We'll take this into committee then for a decision. Mr. Nipfel.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. As I understand it, and with due regard to the concerns that were raised, most of those, if not all of them, have been addressed at other points in the approval process by various agencies and experts. The only issue that's before us right now is the 2 side yard setbacks, and that's because, as Mr. Rubinoff explained, there was a mistake made in evaluating the original permit. I think personally that the variance that's requested here is minor. I think it's completely supportable, and I'd like to move approval of it subject to the planning condition, and I perhaps would suggest that the planning condition be worded that a minimum 1.8 meter fence be provided along the east and west property lines opposite the east and west side walls of the garden suite. As we indicate, or as the applicant indicated, there is already a fence along those property lines, but as he also advised, he will raise it to the higher level to try and offset any kind of privacy concerns. And I think that that condition should address the any concerns for privacy.
Thank you. And do we have a seconder? Mr. Schwartz? All right. Sorry, you have.
Just to clarify, it's opaque fencing, right?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay, so I second.
All right, thank you. Would you like to second as well? Thank you.
I second that.
All right, all those in favor? That is carried. The application has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, item 14. 132 Highgate Avenue. This is an application for a new 2-story dwelling with a rear deck. Variances are for north side yard setback, south side yard setback, height of all side exterior main walls, number of stories, building length, lot coverage, area of a platform at or above the 2nd story. On file, we have a survey, plans, tree protection plan, forestry comments, late list of revised variances, late revised plans, and a late community planning report. We have our applicant.
Madam Chair, my name is Nushin Mozaffari. I'm here on behalf of my clients, owners of 132 Highgate.
Okay, and your address, please?
3429 Youngest Street, Unit number 5.
Thank you. Do you have any changes to make to the application today?
Yes, Madam Chair. In back and forth with the planning department, we have made some improvements to the application. Variance number 1, the side setback on the north side is increased to 1.3 meter. Variance number 2, the south side yard setback is also increased to 1.3 meter.
Okay.
Variance number 3, the wall height is reduced to 7.6 meter. And variance number 7, the area of the platform is reduced to 17 meter.
Okay, thank you. And
Chair, I didn't
sorry?
hear the first.
The first?
The first change that she made.
The first variance was for the
North side setback increased to 1.3 meter.
and so is variance number 2, which is the south side yard setback. Yeah. All right, thank you. Do you have anybody here on this item? Okay, one moment, please, sir. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant before we hear from the, okay. All right, sorry, okay.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The adjacent property owner at, I think it's, well, the one to the south, the adjacent property owner to the south would appear to have, there would appear to be overlook from your rear deck onto their property. Have you had discussions with this adjacent owner about any concerns they might have about privacy and what you might do to offset those?
Through you, Madam Chair, I'm not sure if my client has talked to the neighbor, but we know that no one is opposing our proposal. And we have the required setback of the deck. As you see on the site plan, the deck is not aligned with the building. The building, we are asking for side setback variance only for the building, but the deck has an inset distance and complies with the required setback of 1.8 meter. And we also have reduced the size of the deck and the area of the deck by reducing the projection of the deck. And the south neighbor also has the similar deck beside the property line, and we both have the same similar situation.
Okay.
Still, we are okay to have a privacy screen on the south side of the deck if privacy is a concern for the neighbor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's have a brief presentation because we do have somebody here in the audience to speak to it. So if you could give us a brief explanation of the application.
Sure. This is a very standard and usual proposal in a lot which is a bit narrower than usual 50-footer lots. The width of the property is 47 feet instead of 50. And that's why we are asking for the side setback variance on both sides that we have also improved. The wall height is only 10 centimeters more than allowed. And variance number 4 for the number of stories, it's a technical variance because the basement is considered as a main floor, so as the first floor, so the building, which is a standard 2-story above garage, is considered as a 3-story, and consequently the rear deck is considered as a balcony, and its area should be limited to 4 square meter, and we have reduced the area of the deck to satisfy planning's concern. And then we have a variance for the lot coverage within the approved cases in the neighborhood. And also, despite the width of the lot that is very limited, the depth of the lot is very decent, and that's why we are asking for a length variance. And as you see on the site plan, the rear setback is still, we have more rear setback than even the length of the building itself. We have almost 21.6 meter of rear setback, and we comply with the front setback and the total heights.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's hear from the resident. Is the microphone down the bottom?
Oh, sorry. Hi, my name is Jason Ng, and I'm the owner of 134 Highgate, the property just north of 132 Highgate, proposed development. I'm a father of 4 young children, and we moved here about 5 years ago, and we spend a lot of time in the living room. My youngest 2-year-old is playing with her cousins in there right now when it's very brightly lit. Based off of the variances and the new proposal, pretty much an entire south wall would be blocked from natural sunlight. I did not see a sunshade study on this, and as I have a PhD in engineering, I did some modeling myself. Sorry, these numbers are based off of what I received in the mail, so it does not have the most recent additions. But based off the proposed 7.75 meter wall with the reduced variance of 1.2 meters, the original setback amount, it would result, that results in a total of 3 meters, including our 1.8 meter setback from our own property of the south-facing wall, will cause severe sunlight loss to our property. At Toronto's latitude of 43.65 degrees north, on winter solstice, our south side is completely shadowed for 100% of daylight hours, with shadows extending 20 meters northward at the sun's maximum altitude of only 22.9 degrees. Even during the equinoxes, our property remains shadowed for roughly 50 to 60% of daylight hours. A cumulative effect of the height, building length, and reduced setback variances produce a 7.7 meter barrier wall, basically blocking our primary source of natural light from the south for majority of the year in both our living room and yard. A compliant building with proper setbacks and height would result in a dramatically less shadow intrusion by approximately 3 to 4 meters at peak shadow times. The 3 to 4 meters is the difference between my entire yard being in shadow versus retaining some usable sunlight space during the shoulder seasons. The level of impact is not minor and nor desirable for the appropriate development of the yard and consistent with the character of the neighborhood. If you look at, as far as I know, for the entire side of the street, there is no reduced setback of 1.2 or I guess even 1.3 meters along the street. So this would be slightly different from what we have along the street. I request that the setback and height be kept at the bylaw requirements, or at least closer to the bylaw requirements, especially variances 1 and 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the resident? All right. I guess I just have one question. Did you do a model for what the as of right is as well and compare?
Sorry, what was that you said?
Did you do a model? You did some modeling of what you thought this building would result in impacts to your property. Did you also model what the as of right permissions for the house would be, like the without the variances?
Oh, yeah. Without the variances, the difference was 3.4 meters. I do have somewhat of a model here. Yeah, it's just
like in terms of shadowing. I'm just
in terms of shadowing, it says about 3 to 4 meters less shadow at the peak shadow hours.
All right, thank you. Okay, any other questions for the applicant? No? All right, let's bring the resident. Let's bring the applicant back to address your concerns.
Through you, Madam Chair, and thank you from the neighbor for sharing his concerns. Madam Chair, you asked a very precise question, because if you compare the proposed with the as of right or allowed shadow study, then you can understand that what we are proposing is not making more shadow on the neighboring property. And the reason is that we have reduced the side setback, but the bylaw allows to have 1.8 meter of side setback and then 3 feet 90 centimeter for the roof overhang, going all the way up to the same total height. So if you have more setback, but also more roof overhang, you will have the same shape of the roof. We have reduced setback, and also the roof overhang is also reduced to 1.5 feet instead of 3 feet. So instead of 50 centimeter of less setback, we have also 45 centimeter of less roof overhang. So basically, if you compare and overlap the allowed roof shape on the proposed, you will see that there won't be a dramatic change between allowed and proposed. Also, if you look at the site plan, this proposed setback is only for the front portion, and we have even more than required setback at the rear. For the rear portion of the building, we have 1.9 meter setback, where bylaw requires 1.8 meter. And also the site plan shows that the rear wall of our proposal is perfectly aligned with the rear wall of the adjacent neighbor on the north side, and our building does not go any further into the rear yard than the existing building of the north neighbor. So in general, I believe that this proposal does not cause any shadow more than what the allowed envelope of the bylaw may cause, because the right comparison is between the proposed and allowed, not between the proposed and existing. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? No? All right, thank you. We'll take this into committee now. Mr. Fazeli.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think based on the explanation of the applicant, I feel satisfied about the answers towards the neighbors' concerns. Also, I would appreciate it if, from the neighbors, if they wanted to provide any shadow studies prior. However, still, in my opinion, I'm satisfied with the answers that the applicant provided. So this is my comment, and I'm okay to forward a motion if there are no any other comments from the colleagues. So I'd like to forward a motion to approve this application as amended. So would you like me to read them, or are we okay with this?
They're okay.
They're okay, perfect. As amended, and also would like to subject the forestry condition number 2 and 3 to this application.
Thank you. Mr. Swartz, did you have a question? Oh, thank you. Mr. Swartz is seconding. All in favor? That application is approved.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. We have concluded the morning agenda, and we will be back at 2 p.m.